Guess what? I got a new scale. I'm so excited. I can't wait to show you. I'm going to go ahead and open it in this video. You know, it's the small things that make me happy. Welcome to eBay with Chris. I'm on a journey to build an eBay business from $0 to $3,000 monthly profit in just 12 months. In today's video, of course, we're going to look at the scale that I just bought, and I'm going to go ahead and open the box and show you how I use it in action. It's going to be so exciting. I'm also going to show you all my eBay reports for this week. We're going to look at the week of August 21st through August 27th. And of course, I have 9 items that I'm going to show you that sold, and you can see the brands and the profit. And finally, I'm going to wrap up the video with my business metrics. Here we go. Well, I'm super excited. I finally got a new scale. I do have a scale that's similar to this. In fact, it might even be the same brand, but it is super glitchy. Like sometimes when I plug it in, it doesn't power up. I have to hold the plug into the scale and twist it and finally get it to the right position where it'll stay on. And then even when it is on, it's glitchy. It will register a weight when there's nothing on it, and the weight will go up and down even though I'm not even touching the scale. It'll go from, minus 0.7 ounces up to plus 6 ounces and just kind of waver back and forth. And it's super annoying. So I'm excited. I finally got a new scale. I went ahead and used an affiliate link of one of the other YouTubers that I watch. I believe I used the link for Dixon's Pickens. I'll leave a link below for his channel. But I'll also leave an affiliate link for this item if you want to purchase it. Here we go. Let's go ahead and open up this box and check it out. I'm super excited. The scale is an Accutech digital scale. Here we go. And on the outside the box, it says it has a capacity of 110 pounds. So I can't use it for a personal scale. It has a graduation of 0.1 ounce. That means it'll go up and it'll register up to 0.1 ounces. You can get it to read in pounds, ounces, or grams. It has a large LCD for easy reading. It uses an AC adapter so the scale can always be on. And when I use a scale, I use it when I'm listing. So I weigh everything and I enter the weight of everything into the listing because I use eBay's calculated shipping. That way the customer knows how much they're going to pay up front for their shipping costs. And then on the shipping side, when I go to ship it out, it's super easy for me. All I do is the weight is already in the system and the dimensions are in the system. I add a shipping poly mailer, which is super light, less than probably 0.1 ounces, and so it doesn't affect the weight at all. And then I go ahead and select the proper shipping method, and probably 90% of the time, 99% of the time, it is shipping USPS Ground Advantage. The only time occasionally I'll have some jeans that it's less expensive to ship with the priority mail envelope. So here we go. And tell me in the comments below, how do you do your shipping? Do you weigh things when you list them? Do you weigh them when you ship them at the end? Do you just have a set price for all of your shipping methods? I'm still new. I've only been doing this for 9 months, and I just chose to use eBay's calculated shipping in the beginning because I thought it was easier. I didn't want to risk losing money on shipping. So that's just how I've always done it. And if I'm always looking to learn and try different methods, so if you have some different way of doing things, please let me know in the comments below. But here it comes with the adapter. It does have some batteries in there, so I guess there's a battery backup. Let me see what else. We've got the plug. Here's the here's the LCD readout. More batteries, and then the scale itself. Here we go. Nicely packaged. Look at that, all bubble wrapped up. And same with the readout was nicely packaged, bubble wrapped up. Okay. got the instructions, limited warranty, and what else? There's something else in here. Oh, okay, you have to pull, it says right here to pull out, so it's got some kind of foam protectant underneath, yeah, between the scale and the base there. Okay, pull that out as well. Look at that, nice. Okay. And then it has, I like this feature right here. You can kind of fold it up, you can see that. And then if I have jeans, I can just kind of plop them in there, or a hoodie or a t-shirt or whatever, just throw it on there and it'll stay in there. If it's flat, you know, I throw it on there and it's less likely to, I don't know, it could fold over to the edge and be touching the ground. So I do like this feature, that's kind of cool. Okay, let's go ahead and see if I can get this thing figured out. I think it's pretty simple, plug and play, right? Okay, so basically we're going to plug it in. Get the wire all done here. Okay, this end goes into here. Get the trash out of the way. I don't think I'm going to use the batteries because I'm going to leave it plugged in all the time. Plug in the USB into the power, and I do have power right here behind me, so plug that in there. Okay, and it looks like this goes into this right here. Where is it at? You gotta peel this little plastic thing off. Ooh, and already it's registering 0.00. It's kind of cool. And I do like this thing, the way it's separated from the scale. That way I can put things on the scale right here, and then the readout not be blocked by the item that's on there. Like if you were to try and weigh stuff on a bathroom scale, for example, a lot of times you put the package on there and it's blocking the actual readout of the weight. But here you can kind of put it over here, put it away, or if you had a dedicated station, you could even like mount this on a wall, possibly, and with maybe some double-sided tape, and then you can put things on there and get a nice readout from that. So I do like that. It is, yeah, super sensitive. It's nice. I can see the weight going up and down, and much better than my current scale because it turns on really fast. And it's not glitching, it's not going up and down, so I'm really excited to use the scale. Let me see if there's some other features related to it. Okay, so I did want to show you a couple of the basic features of it. Obviously, here's your on and off button. If it doesn't show 0.00 at the beginning, you can go ahead and click this button to reset it. It does come calibrated, so you don't have to calibrate it. And then you can go ahead and switch if you want to do it in grams. There you go. Or let's see, what does this say? Okay, here's your pounds and ounces. This is just your ounces with the decimal place, and this one is grams, and it shows you that. It just says a small G up here for grams. Go back to that. And you can also do a hold feature, like you want to weigh something and then hold that weight. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. I definitely won't use that feature when I'm weighing out my inventory. So anyways, there's a couple features. Let's go ahead and test it out. Here we go. Okay, so I have the scale here on my floor, which is probably not a good idea. That's probably how I broke the other one over time. Stepped on it too many times, but I need to set up my listing area a little bit better now, especially now that I have a new scale. But let's go ahead and weigh this couple things out and enter them into the system. Okay, here I just have a regular Nike t-shirt, and you can see 5.3 ounces, and it is roughly about 12 by 10 by 1, so I'll enter that into the system here. I use this drop down here, the shipping policy right here, calculated USPS parcel. That always switches over to the Ground Advantage now, but that's what I've always kind of used, is this parcel with the international shipping for eBay. I tried to select this one right here. It says calculated eBay international, but it always just switches over to this one right here. So that's just the one I've been using. If you have a different idea or a better idea, let me know. Shipping policy is probably something I need to go in and upgrade to something more current, but that's just what I've been using. So that one weighed 5.2 ounces, so I'm just going to enter 6 right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in the dimensions. I think it was 12 by 10 by 1. And there you go. That one's done. I can go ahead and finish up this listing. Okay, and here I have, I think this is a zip-up sweatshirt. And you can see it is 1 pound, 7.3 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and enter 1 pound, 8 ounces. And you can see I like how it sits in this thing right here. Kind of how it's cradled in that right there. I like that. It works out pretty good. So 1/8. And it's roughly 12 by 15 by 3. I have the same shipping policy as you can see, and then I'm going to go ahead and enter 1, 8, 12, 15, 3. I don't measure my items. I just know that my poly bag is roughly 12 inches across and 15 inches long, and so this item right here, when it fully fills up this poly bag, is going to be 12 by 15 by about, I don't know, about 3 inches thick there. So I just kind of guesstimate it. It honestly doesn't matter to eBay as far as the shipping cost. This Postal Service Ground Advantage, the size doesn't matter too much. It's mostly based off the weight. So a quick little estimate, and then I just throw this into a poly bag when it's ready to ship to the customer. And it's working out pretty good for me. But again, if you have a different way of doing things, let me know, because I'm always willing to learn. So here I have a pair of Rudis wrestling shoes. You probably saw these in a previous video where I talked about a garage sale find. But again, I go ahead and just put these in a poly bag, and they just go in my box with the rest of my inventory. You can see I have my inventory SKU number there, and I just bag them up like this, and they go in the exact same order with all my shirts and sweatshirts and pants. So again, that fits on there nice on that little scale, and it is 1 pound, 1 ounce, basically rounded up to 1 pound, 1 ounce. And the dimensions on this are going to be roughly 12 by, I'm going to say 12 by 14 by 4. Okay, so it was 1 pound, 1 ounce, and about 12 by 14, I'm going to say 5, because I'll probably put this in a box. Actually, I'm going to put up to 2 pounds because I'm going to add the weight of a box for these shoes. So it'll probably total be 2 pounds, 12 by 14 by 5 roughly. These shoes, I did go ahead and increase the weight to add additional weight for the cardboard box that I'll go ahead and ship these in. When I'm shipping everything else, my pants and sweaters and hoodies and t-shirts, I don't add. I just round up to the nearest ounce because I know my poly mailers are going to be super cheap, or I know my poly mailers are going to be super lightweight and not add any additional weight to what I enter into the system. However, when I do ship these shoes inside of a box, they will add probably close to another pound. So I go ahead and round up to the nearest pound, and then that's what I use as my shipping weight. Oh, and if you are interested in these poly bags that I use to store all of my items, I will leave a link below. I buy them on Amazon. I have 2 different sizes that I've shared in different videos before, but this is my most common size. Probably 90% of my inventory, 95% of my inventory goes in this one size. It's 12 by 16, I believe, 12 by 15, but I'll go ahead and leave the link below if you're interested in using the same type of poly bags that I use. Okay, now let's go ahead and weigh this pair of jeans here. Again, I do like the way it sits up on that. I could lay it flat. Let me see what that would be like. I mean, that works too. I think I like having those things up so they hold the item in here. In this example here, we got 1 pound, 9.6 ounces, so I'm going to round up to 110. And the dimensions on this are 12 by probably 2, so that's what we'll enter. Okay, let's get the weight entered in here. 1, 10, 12, 12, 2. Done. Oh yeah, one more thing that I like about the scale is that it does not turn off when it's plugged into the power outlet. If you had it on battery power, it would turn off after 90 seconds. My old scale would do that all the time. It would drive me crazy because I'd have to turn it on every single time I wanted to weigh something. But now I can go ahead and list a bunch of items, leave the scale on, and it's always ready for me to just put something on there and weigh it super fast, and then enter the information into the computer, work on the next listing. When I come back to weigh an item, it will still be on. So for me, that's super exciting because I always had to turn it on first, which was kind of annoying. Again, this is a Accu-Tech scale, digital scale. It's W8580-110B. I'll go ahead and leave an Amazon link in the notes below, and that is an affiliate link. If you do go ahead and click on that and decide to purchase, I will receive a small, very small commission, but I do appreciate any support for the channel. Hopefully that you'll find this a useful tool as well. So check it out. Okay, so here's the report for the week of August 21st through August 27th. You can see I sold a whole 14 items. Woohoo! Well, that's what happened. So my total sales for the week were $520.08, which is actually pretty good for just selling 14 items. So I'm pretty happy with that. My selling costs were only $157.03. Now my selling costs include my shipping costs as well, because I use eBay shipping for all of my shipping. So that's pretty typical for me. I'm usually around between 30 and 33% on my selling costs every week. My net sales are what eBay paid me, $339.72. I like that number as well. And then finally, my average sales price, which is pretty amazing, $37.15. I'm really happy with that. I'm shooting for an average sales price of just $28 or more. So when I see it bump up to $37.15, I'm pretty happy. Here's my sales chart for the week, and as you can see, I did have about $75 sales on Monday. I go Monday through Sunday as my week. Tuesday there was nothing. On Wednesday, Thursday, just probably a couple items for under $50. Looks like Friday was over 100, Saturday about 50, and I wrapped up the week with a pretty good sales day on Sunday of around $175. So Sunday seems to be my biggest sales day, at least through the summer. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen my item sales, or what the buyer paid for the item itself, $387.20. They also paid shipping and handling of $109.55, as well as taxes and government fees of $23.33. That's where the total for $520.08 comes from. And this shows my eBay fees for the week. You can see my final value fees were $68.44, which is 13% of my total sales. And that's right on track. Basically, I'm between 13 and 14% every single week. My ad fees, I just spent a total of $6.23 on ads. And I put items on ads when they've been in my store for between 2 and 3 months. And I only put them on a 5% ads. And that's just 1% of my total sales. My shipping labels, I spent $82.36 to ship items out to the customers, and I believe they paid, what, $109? So I did make some money there as well. But my shipping labels were 16% of my total costs. Typically, they're a little bit higher. They're around 23%. So I suspect that some of the fees or the shipping label costs for the items that I sold on Sunday probably rolled into Monday, which is when I shipped out some of those items. So we'll see some of those costs probably in the next week. Go ahead and look at 9 items that I sold. I try and pick out brands that you maybe never heard of before, or kind of unique items that I think are pretty interesting. And so hopefully it helps you be on the lookout for similar items that maybe you weren't looking for before. My whole goal with this part of the video is to help you expand your knowledge base, to help you find more and more products that you can sell for a profit on eBay. And of course, my cost for these items is less than $3. My buy cost year to date is about $1.50 average per item, and I spent another dollar on things like laundry, poly mailers for shipping, of course, poly bags to put my items in, storage boxes, and things like that, ink, shipping labels, all those kind of costs. They add up to about an average of 90 cents per item that I sell. This first item is a pair of Columbia PFG convertible pants. Convertible pants means that they you can zip off the legs and convert them into shorts. I use keywords like fishing. They are also Omni Shade, which is a Columbia feature. And I use also another keyword like hiking. I did show you here the picture of the PFG. So Columbia by itself is an okay brand to pick up, but I almost always pick up Columbia PFG, which is their performance fishing gear. This stuff has a better sell-through rate. It is a little bit more popular among outdoors people. Another keyword you could use for an item like this is Gorp Core. So Gorp is a term, or Gorp Core is a term that people might be using to search for outdoor gear. So in this case, this buyer is all in for $31.26. They spent $23 on the item itself, $6.65 for shipping, and another $1.61 for sales tax. And eBay, after they took out the sales tax, and they also took out transaction fees of $4.16. The shipping label cost $5.33, ad fee of $1.56. eBay paid me $18.60, and I got a profit of $15. Columbia PFG pants were in my store for a total of 6 months. Starting to do more and more bundles. Here we have some Express jeans. They're all size, women's size 2, 3 pairs in this bundle. When I find items that I normally wouldn't sell individually, but I'm finding maybe 2, 3, or even 4 of the same pair, a lot of times you'll find those together when you're going through the bins. You'll find them kind of lumped together. So when I do see that, I'll grab all 2 or 3 pairs of those items, and I'm starting to put them together in bundles. Normally they wouldn't be worth selling individually because the profit would just be too small. It might be $5 profit per item, but when you can bundle them and make a profit like here of $19, then I think it's worth it. So in this case, they're Express super soft ankle leggings, mid-rise women's jeans. This buyer is all in for $42.65. They paid $25 for the item itself, plus another $17.65 in shipping. eBay took out a transaction fee of $5.57 as well as a shipping label of $11.43. And I got from eBay $25.65. My costs for these items, because I did get them at the bins, were probably around $6. So my profit was about $19. And also these Express pants were in my store for a total of 5.5 months. I've been finding success buying Nike branded sports teams shorts, especially basketball shorts. Here we have a pair of Seahawks shorts. I've also found some college shorts like Gonzaga, University of Washington. So I've found success, and people will pay a higher price for them. So here we have some Seattle Seahawks Nike dry fit shorts. I didn't even use the keyword basketball in here, which is kind of surprising, but they did sell in about 4.5 months. But this buyer is all in for $38.91. They paid $30 for the item, $6.40 for shipping, and sales tax of $2.51. eBay, they took out the sales tax, of course, and also transaction fee of $5.11, shipping label $4.88, ad fee of $1.95, and paid me a total of $24.46 for a profit of $21. And again, this was only in my store for 4.5 months. This is a really unique find, and something that is probably not a bolo, because you'll probably never find something like this. But this was a vintage 1980 USA Olympic Committee jacket with a Toyota patch on it. The brand is Pacific Trail, and you can see I use I put Pacific Trail towards the end because the key words here were vintage 1980 U.S. Olympic Committee jacket. Those were kind of the key words that I thought would be most interesting for people. I did list this for $89, and you can see the buyer paid a total of $89, and they paid shipping of $8.25, for a total of $97.25. eBay, they took out the transaction fee of $12.31, a shipping label fee of $6.44, for a total earnings of $78.50, so for a profit of $75. A really cool find. I really love finding this jacket. It was pretty unique. This was in my inventory for a total of 3 months. I've seen these shirts a few times at the bins, and I pick them up every time I find them because I think they have decent sell-through rate, and you can get okay prices for them. But this is the Claude Monet t-shirt by the brand Tournesols. It has that sunflower painting. It's tie-dye as well. So a lot of fun keywords in this listing. This buyer paid $19 plus shipping of $5.85 and a sales tax of $2.42. Total all-in of $27.27. eBay took out the tax, of course, and a transaction fee of $3.67, a shipping label of $4.44, and an ad fee of $1.36. They paid me $15.38 for a profit of $12. This was in my store for just 2 months. Here we have some cycling bibs, and I've been buying cycling shorts, cycling bibs. These are actually pants, and I find that they sell pretty quickly and for a pretty good price. The brand on this is called Castelli Ross Corsa cycling bib pants. Sometimes these items are pretty hard to find exactly what it is, so it does take longer to do the research in order to list them correctly. But this was only in my store for 5 weeks, sold pretty fast. This buyer paid $35.10 plus shipping of $6.65 and sales tax of $2.51. They were all in for $44.26. My transaction fee, you can see $5.77, shipping label $5.33. eBay paid me $30.65 for a profit of $27. Keep an eye out for any kind of cycling gear. This item cracks me up. If you know me, for some reason I like selling weird pajama pants and pajama items. This was an Old Navy, not really a good brand at all, but an Old Navy bunny bodysuit. Some of the keywords that I used: one piece, union suit is another keyword, rabbit pajamas. But it's pretty funny. And this is an adult size. It's got the rabbit ears, the hood, everything. It cracks me up. Can you imagine wearing this? But anyways, and it's brand new with tags as well. So that's another reason I picked it up. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. But this buyer's all in for $31.29. They paid $20 plus $9 in shipping and sales tax. eBay took out a transaction fee of $4.16. Shipping label cost me $6.94, and eBay paid me $17.90 for a profit of $15. It is harder to take pictures of an item like this, just because, you know, I try to take the picture of the leg inseam as well as the waist and the length of the shoulder and the arm length. So there is a lot more pictures to take, but it's just kind of a fun, unique item. Anyways, I like selling it. This was in my inventory for just 2 weeks. Wool-X, that's a new brand for me. These are Wool-X leggings. In fact, this is merino wool blend. Anytime you find any item that is merino wool, I would suggest picking it up, no matter the brand, because people that are outdoorsy are looking for merino wool. It's a great lightweight wool, keeps you warm and comfortable, and it dries really fast. So it's a great item to pick up and to wear when you're outdoors. In this case, they're leggings. They're 2X, a little bit thicker leggings than you would normally find, but I also use keywords like yoga and hiking. But this, you can see, I also, in the condition notes, I put there's some pilling in the crotch, but I wanted to make sure the buyer was there. Of course, I took close-up pictures of the pilling so they can see that. I do have a pilling shaver, but I really never use it. I just kind of point it out to the buyer and let them decide if they want it or not. But this buyer is all in for $53.16. They paid $43 for the item itself. I took an offer on that. You can see I had it listed for $59. Shipping was $6.40. Sales tax of $3.76. eBay took out transaction fees of $6.87. A shipping label cost me $4.88, and eBay paid me $37.65 for a profit of $34. And this was only in my inventory for 1 day. I don't know why I took that offer. Silly me. I should have just waited, and I probably could have got another $10 out of this item. But lesson learned, I'll do that next time. Legendary Whitetails is another pretty good brand to pick up. I've picked this up a few times and they sell pretty quick. In fact, this item only sold in 1 day, which I was shocked. Maybe I had it priced too low, but it's basically it's a plain plaid flannel shirt. You know, it's got a kind of a cool colorway with the orange colors, orange and gray color there. But it's typically a normal plaid shirt. I did put the keyword shacket in there and gorpcore. Maybe that attracted the buyer. I'm not sure. $15 is what they paid. I had it listed for $19. I took an offer for $15. Shipping was $11. Sales tax $1.31. The buyer paid a total of $27.31. eBay took out the sales tax, of course, and the transaction fee of $3.67. The shipping label cost me $7.85. So I did make roughly $3.15 just in the shipping. eBay paid me $14.48 for a profit of $11. And again, it's just sold in 1 day. I probably should have priced it higher and not taken that low ball offer, although it was still reasonable. I mean, I had it listed for $19. A $15 offer is pretty good. But Legendary Whitetails, keep an eye out for that brand. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into my business metrics. My business growth is focused on 3 primary metrics. The first thing is I'm trying to grow my store by 50 items every single week. If I do that, I should achieve 2,000 items in my store by December 1st, and that's going to really help me hit my goal of $3,000 monthly profit, because if I have 2,000 items in my store, I should hopefully be selling about 10 items per day. And that brings me to my next metric, which is a sell-through rate of 0.5%. If I have 2,000 items in my store at a 0.5% sell-through rate, I would be selling 10 items per day. And if I sell 10 items per day, that would be 300 items in the month. And my third metric, metric number 3, is a profit of $10 per item. So if I'm selling 300 items per month with a $10 profit, it would be $3,000 profit in a month, which would be my goal. So those are the 3 metrics I look at. So let's go ahead and dive into metric number 1, which is, did I grow my store by 50 items in the week? I started the week with 923 items, and I ended the week with 946 items. So I only grew by 23 items. However, that is better than I've done in previous weeks. So I'm glad that I was able to at least get the time to grow my store by 23 items. So that's okay. Okay, metric number 2 is my sell-through rate. Now, how do you calculate sell-through rate? This is a kind of simplified method. It can be more complicated than this, but basically what I do is I take the number of items that sold, divide it by the number of days in the time period that I'm looking at, and then divide that again by the number of items that were in my store. So in my example, I sold 14 items, divide that by 7 days, and divide that again by 923 items, and I get a sell-through rate of 0.22%. Wah, wah, wah. So that is half of where I need to be. I want to be 0.5%. I'm only at 0.22%. I don't know about you, but sales for me have been slower this summer than expected. Again, this is my first summer, so I don't really know what to expect, but I was just at least expecting to have a 0.5% sell-through rate or better. That was based on my research of other clothing resellers. But I'm also hearing other eBay sellers saying that sales are slow for them as well this summer. So we'll see. So my job is just to list more and more items, items that people want, put them at a good price, and use keywords to help people find the items. So if I continue doing that, hopefully the sales will come. And finally, metric number 3 is to have a $10 profit per item. And I'm pretty sure I nailed that, especially with my average selling price of over $37. But let's go ahead and look at it. So my cost of goods are $3 per item sold. And so I sold 14 items at $3 each. So my total cost of goods is $42. And if I subtract that from what eBay paid me, they paid me $339.72. So subtract $42, my total profit for the week was $297.72. That's, of course, my taxable profit, or before taxes. And if I divide 297.72 by 14 items sold, my average profit per item is $21.27. Boom, that's really good. If I do have a profit of over $20 per item, instead of selling 300 items in the month to reach my goal of $3,000 profit, I'm only going to need to sell 150 items in a month to reach my goal of $3,000 profit. So I can approach it by selling more items, or I could approach it by having a higher profit per item. So either way is good. Let's look at cash flow. So this week I bought 89 items and I spent $134 on those 89 items for an average buy cost of $1.51. Dang, I love it. I want to keep my buy cost as low as possible. So if I subtract that $134 from what eBay paid me, I had a positive cash flow of $205.72. That's what I love about this business, is that every single week is positive cash flow. As long as you're buying items at a low price and have an average buy cost of just a couple dollars, $2, $3, you're going to make money in this business. So I encourage you to keep your buy cost super low by buying at the Goodwill bins or garage sales, and make wise buying choices. The Goodwill stores, the retail stores, are pretty expensive right now. So if you want to keep your risk low, go to the Goodwill bins if you have one near you, or go to garage sales to buy your inventory in order to keep your costs really low. Good luck out there. All right, thanks for watching eBay with Chris. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Share this video with your friends, of course. And if you want to follow me on this journey from $0 to $3,000 profit, you can click on the subscribe button right here. And if you want to binge watch eBay with Chris and see some of my other videos, go ahead and click this video right here. Thanks a lot and take care.